Hello students, this is chapter 7, Structural Organization in Animals. In this chapter, this is video 1, and in this video we'll be talking about epithelial tissue and its types. Now we all know that a unicellular organism has only one single cell, and that one single cell performs all the functions like digestion, respiration, reproduction. But in a multicellular organism, there is a division of labor. Similar cells which perform specific function are together known as tissues. Tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form organs like stomach, lung, heart, kidney. And when two or more organs perform a common function by their physical or chemical interaction, they together form an organ system. For example, digestive system, respiratory system, and so on. So cell, tissue, organs, and organ system exhibit what? A division of labor in the multicellular organism. Now, seeing to animal tissue. Animal tissue can be further divided into 4 types of tissue: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue is further divided into simple epithelium and compound epithelium. And further, it is divided into squamous, cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, glandular. Connective tissue is divided into loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. Muscular tissue is divided into striated muscles, unstriated muscles, and cardiac muscles. So we'll be dealing one by one each tissue, but in this video, I'll be dealing only about epithelial tissue. So let us see what is epithelial tissue. The tissue which has a free surface faces either the body fluid or the outside environment, and it thus provides a covering or a lining for some part of the body that is called an epithelial tissue. The cells are compactly packed with very little intracellular matrix. These epithelial tissues are of 2 types: simple epithelium and compound epithelium. What is simple epithelium? Simple epithelium is composed of only one single layer of cells, and it generally functions as lining of body cavities or ducts. Compound epithelium, it consists of 2 or more layers of cells and has a protective function as for example skin. Now let us take one by one these 2 types of tissue. Let us first take simple epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue is further classified into 3 types: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. So now let us see what is squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium, as it's a simple tissue, simple epithelium, so it's made up of one single layer. This single layer is very thin, and as the name says, squamous means flattened cell. So these cells are flattened with irregular boundaries, and they are found in the walls of blood vessels and air sacs of lungs. The second type of epithelial tissue is cuboidal tissue. Cuboidal epithelial tissue. Cuboidal epithelium, as the name itself is saying, is what shape of cells? Cube-like cells. They are also single layered, and they are found in the ducts of gland and tubular parts of nephron and kidney. Third type of epithelium, simple epithelium, that is the columnar epithelium. Columnar epithelial cells, they are tall, they are cylinder. They form a columns. You can see over here in the picture, they are forming columns, and the nuclei is located at the base of the pillar-like cell. They are found in the lining of the stomach and intestine, and its function is mainly secretion and absorption. Students, these cuboidal and columnar epithelium are modified. Some modifications may take place in cuboidal and columnar epithelial tissue, and then it can be further be of two types: ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. Now let us first see what is ciliated epithelium. As the name, from the name you can guess, ciliated. Ciliated means it has cilia on its free surface. So if the cuboidal cells or the columnar cells have cilia on its free surface, they are known as ciliated epithelium. They are generally found in the inner surface of hollow organs. Now children, you all know what is the function of cilia. Cilia helps in movement, so they are found wherever the particles have to move. So they are found in bronchioles or in fallopian tube. Now we come to the next modification of cuboidal and columnar epithelium, that is glandular epithelium. From the name you can guess, as the name says, glandular. So they are glands. Their main function is secretion. They will secrete something. And they are of two types. Either it will be a unicellular glandular epithelium or it will be a multicellular glandular epithelium. Now let us first see unicellular glandular epithelium. Your salivary gland, the goblet cell, they are the example of unicellular glandular cells. Goblet cells are present in the stomach. You can see over here, this is a unicellular gland and it produces mucus. Talking about multicellular glandular epithelium, multicellular means it's many layered. You can see there are many layered cells, and example is salivary gland. On the basis of the mode of pouring of the secretion, these glands, these multicellular glands can be divided into two types: exocrine gland and endocrine gland. Exocrine glands are those glands which have ducts. With the help of the ducts, their secretion passes to the target organ. Whereas endocrine glands, they secrete hormone. They are ductless gland. They pour their secretion directly into the blood. You have studied about many exocrine glands like salivary gland secretes saliva, gastric gland secretes many enzymes. Then endocrine gland also you know about it, like pituitary gland, pancreas, they are hypothalamus, they are endocrine glands. Now let us come up to compound epithelium. Just now whatever we have done, that is simple epithelium, which was made up of single layer, and compound epithelium is made up of more than one layers of cell. Now, as it is made up of more than one layers of cell, it is thick and it provides protection against chemical and mechanical stress. And you find it on the surface of the skin, moist surface of buccal cavity and pharynx. Now, children, these cells are joined with each other by junctions known as cell junctions. So what are cell junctions? They are specialized junctions that provide both structural and functional link between individual cells. When the cells are joined together with cell junctions, and they are of three types: tight junction, adhering junction, and gap junction. What is tight junction? You can see over here. This is cell A, this is cell B. The two cells are tightly joined with each other at intervals. This stops the leaking across the tissues. Then we come with adhering junction. Adhering junction, this is cell A, this is cell B, and in between, sorry, let me bring it again. These two cells are joined by cementing together in between. This is the cement. A cementing material is present between the two neighboring cells. And last is the gap junction. The gap junction facilitates the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm. See, you can see over here. This is the channel through which the cytoplasm can be connected between one cell and the second cell. This is there for rapid transfer of ions and small molecules. So in this video, we have discussed about epithelial tissue and the cell junction. In the next video, I'll be explaining about connective tissue.